Well, thank you so much for joining us today. We're loving Violent here in Tampa, and we're just excited for everything you're doing right now. And I kind of just wanted to take an opportunity to let people kind of get to know you better. Like, tell me a little bit about where this music journey started for you. Were you playing music as a kid? What was it like growing up?
Yeah, so I was in musical theater as a kid. I like many artists actually. And I mean that kind of just started me on the bug of like I love performing. I love being the center of attention and like just kind of being on a stage and like just singing for people. I just, love that. But obviously, it wasn't my songs. It was just I was playing a character. I wasn't myself. And then like as I got older, and like I went through a lot of like really tough stuff in like high school and like, middle school and stuff. And that kind of really spawned like the more like creative process to making music because like there was, as a kid, I couldn't really put my emotions into songs the way I can do now. But yeah, like it kind of just like I just needed an outlet basically.
Your mom has kind of been a little bit a part of your story, at least from like some of the first time people got to know you was that video you took of you and your mom hearing the song on the radio for the first time, like took off. I mean, I was seeing it on like meme pages on Instagram. How did she feel about that? And how did you feel about that?
Well, my mom was like, she's not like camera. She doesn't like being in front of the camera. And so like before we even did it, we like both told each other, we're like, we're not gonna cry. We're not. And then we take the video and I was like, oh, this is kind of really heart-wrenching. This is gonna be amazing.
Do
And
you
then
still get excited when you hear it on the radio?
yeah, it was just crazy. Like my mom's a teacher and like she had all her students sending it to her, all her colleagues sending it to her, like, really crazy exposure for that video. It was like mind blowing.
And now that song, I mean, I think I was just looking before this 70 million streams or
Oh my,
something. Like,
yes.
I think so globally, which means your song is on every continent, probably. How does that feel for you now watching it grow?
It's it's just amazing. Like I can't really explain it in any other words, but just like surreal and like crazy. And the fact I love the fact that like it's been popular in like the UK and like Germany. And to me, like I just look at that as just like opportunities. Like I can go to other countries and like on tour and I have supporters there and like that's awesome to me. I've always wanted to like travel and like it just feels like the world's kind of like opening its arms to me almost.
So yesterday was International Women's Day. Everyone was, posting on Instagram and acknowledging the women in their life. And we were kind of taking a moment here to recognize some of the up and coming females in alternative because it is a male dominated genre. I mean, I think a lot of them are. And I kind of wanted your take on like how it feels to be the minority, kind of to be a female in music and alternative, and what you would maybe tell um any other girls out there who are striving to do what you're doing.
Well, yeah, I definitely see myself like I don't really know of any other like female artists that are kind of like in my like that look like me or have like my same style of music like at all. So it does feel like kind of new territory for sure. And the advice like I would or what I would just tell like my listeners or like my young girls that listen to my music is just like express yourself and like don't care because like I have found um literally just like the will to keep going and like I didn't ever think I was even going to make it to like 18 years old for a really long time. um and it was just music and expressing myself through style, like celebrating life by just being myself. And that's just the only advice like I can really give to someone because that's like what worked for me. Find your talents, like find what makes you happy, it's hard. Like, I'll have to have some talks with my friends sometimes, they're like, oh, I don't do anything, like, like, you're over here and like you have your music, but like, what do I do? And like, I have to remind them, like, like, everyone's talents are like so different, and like everyone has something that they're insanely good at, like everybody. And it's just like, you just have to like really lean into that.
Definitely. I love that. Well, thank you so much for taking some time with us today. We love your song. We hope when we can plan shows again, you can get down here and perform. We would absolutely love that.
Thank you for having me. It was a pleasure talking to you.
You too.